That's something that I always keep in the back of my head, and think that is really, really important, even on days where you both have really rough days, is to remember to just sit there with your partner and listen and let them talk about what is going through their heads, and not interrupt and not try and give advice in that moment, and just listen and say, I understand that that is tough. Especially when you have different careers and it's maybe challenging to know exactly what to say or what to do. I think that has been far and beyond the best thing that I feel like I can do for Christian in his career, as he has a tough day, just listen and support him no matter what. And I think another thing I would say is that we have very different careers with different types of stressors, is to never compare, um, never compare hardships, never say, well, my day was harder than yours, or, you know, what you're dealing with is not as difficult as what I'm dealing with. I think creating a safe space to feel like you're listened to and they're not comparing your day to theirs. I think it's very important.
Some good advice. I need to take that advice. I'm not, very unqualified to give advice, but I did hear one piece of advice, so I'll pass this piece of advice on. Oddly enough, this was a piece of advice that we got from our landlord when we first moved in. You remember in Richmond, when we first moved in together for the first time. And I'm probably butchering the phrasing that she used, but she said something to the effect of, if one of you partners, comes home from a tough day and, needs to get something off their chest, they're stressed out, don't add to their stress. Like, it's okay. It's just related to the advice that you just gave, Chelsea, but it's okay to be, to absorb some of that stress, without elevating it, without spitting more stress back into the equation. Inevitably, there are days when both of us have, horrendous, stressors and crazy stuff going on. And it can be easy for that stuff to ratchet up and, I had this terrible thing happen and I need to vent about this. But it's really important. It's been really important for me to remember. I'm still getting better at this, but if Chelsea has a tough day, don't add to her stress by, elevating with my own nonsense. So I thought that was really poignant advice. It's not often you get great advice from your landlord. I don't know how many people have a great relationship with their landlord, but Miss Quinn, if you're out there listening to this, thanks for that advice. That was awesome.